Money Vikings, Money Viking G here. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back to the channel and appreciate you checking out all the content over the years. It's a lot of fun. You know, we're not the biggest YouTube channel in the world. We're not the biggest blog at truewealth.moneyvikings.com, but we've learned a lot and we continue to learn and we continue to engage with folks like you and to try and continue to put out ideas to help middle-class, normal people build wealth and live a life of true wealth. That's our whole goal. And along those lines, I got my Superman shirt on because I am getting into the spirit of Summer of Superman. I think it's very cool. You guys know that I talk a lot about collectibles on this channel. And a lot of people don't know that Superman is, in a lot of ways, his origin story. He was actually a working class hero. And I know that sounds strange because of the way he's evolved over time. But in the late 30s, that's actually was part of the vision for him, is that he was this sort of working class hero or a hero of the working class. So anyway, it's all good stuff. And I'm definitely getting excited about seeing the movie. And I'll talk about that later in addition to the different types of collectibles that I like to hold on to in terms of Superman and collectability. Superman is, for me, definitely up there with Spider-Man, Batman, X-Men. Superman is a forever stock or a forever investment in terms of rare collectibles. You know, Superman, I think, will always be part of the culture, part of the ethos, part of our mythology. It's part of our modern mythology, basically. But that is not the topic today. I want to talk about, this is kind of a piggybacking off of one of my other videos where I talked about the things that Robert Kiyosaki gets right. Because we all know that personal finance gurus, things resonate with us and things don't resonate with us. And they don't always get everything right. They are human. We have to remember that. And at the end of the day, you have to, I think, draw from them the things that really serve you in your particular life situation. So I want to talk today about Dave Ramsey. I've been a fan of Dave Ramsey's for a long time. I still am, but I don't agree with everything he says. I have not liked the way he talked about Bitcoin, of course, because I am into Bitcoin, and, you know, he was never into Bitcoin, and he can be a little bit, you know, I find him at times to be a little bit kind of, you know, it's kind of one of those situations where, like, rich guy has already made it, and then he's giving everybody advice, and he's kind of losing sight in terms of what it was like to be in the middle or at the bottom or at the beginning of the journey and how times might change. Now, he was not born rich. He built his own sort of empire and everything. But some of these guys, they're able to take their book proceeds and all that kind of stuff, which they worked hard for, and I think it's a value added. But they take a lot of that and they're able to put that into other assets, and at some point they get fabulously wealthy, and I think they become a little out of touch. But with that said, he still gets a few things right, really right in my book, and I want to share those today. Number one, he talks about having a budget. So budgeting is extremely boring for most of us. Most of us don't want to do it. I'm a big fan of simple budgets. You basically make a list from greatest number to smallest number of all of your monthly expenses. So you're probably going to start with housing, mortgage, or rent. Then you're going to go to some kind of car payment, then maybe school loan payments, then probably food and utilities, car payment, etc. And you're going to go up all the way down as far as you can, but basically biggest to smallest expense. You're going to make a list of all those. These are your monthly expenses on those items, right? And then you're going to have that monthly total. That's your monthly going out. You have to know what's monthly coming in. And then you do a monthly coming in, how much is coming in, and you go from there. And yes, that's how it works. So I'm a big fan of a basic budget. I use the budget on NerdWallet. I like their spreadsheet a lot. I think it's very cool. And I just think that it's incredibly powerful to know where your money is flowing. Most people don't. So you got to know where your money's flowing, and then you've got to know what is coming in. You're in really bad shape if you do that exercise and it's negative every month. So you're spending more than you're bringing in. That is a total red flag, and that has got to be brought under control. It's fine if you're breaking even after you've talked about investing and automatic savings, but it's better if there's a cushion, of course. But at the end of the day, if you're in a negative every month, you are definitely digging yourself into more and more of a hole, and that compounds and gets worse and worse over the years. It does not get better by itself. It requires a lot of effort and work. Okay, that's number one. Number two, he's not a fan of debt, and I can understand this. So debt is, he does a lot of analogies back to the Bible and back to religion, and he talks about how the Bible talks about debt, and debt is essentially a kind of slavery, and he's absolutely right about that. So we have to be careful with debt. I understand. I needed a loan to get my house. Sometimes I need a loan to buy a rental property. That's all fine. Ramsey's not a fan of loans for rental properties. He thinks those should only be bought in cash. Depends on where you're buying one of those in the country, and it depends on the numbers, but yes, that's ideal, of course. But the bottom line is you have got to be careful about your debt loads. You have to be careful about how much debt you are taking on, and you have to be able to manage that debt effectively and be, again, trending in the right places, just like the budget. What I'm big into is understanding how you are trending. Are you trending worse or are you trending better? You got to be trending better, guys. That's the way to build wealth. There's no perfect, but we can make improvements. Okay, so that's number two, get out of debt, especially toxic debt, especially debt on on vacations, on clothes, on consumer items, electronics, blah, 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 car debt. All that is really crappy debt. Okay. Number three, totally emphasizes you have got to get to a place where you are spending less than you earn. It sounds like common sense, but it's not a common practice. People are notoriously spending more than they earn. We've got to live within the means we have. That's important. And we've talked about it before. There's a way to live a true wealth life within your means. You don't have to make huge salaries in order to live a good life. There's a lot of ways to live a good life on a moderate salary, on a middle-class salary. And we talk about that a lot. That's the whole idea of this channel, is building wealth and living a life of true wealth on a middle-class salary. Okay? Okay, and then the fourth thing is, he talks about you've got to be automated into investing every month or saving something, because that automation into investing every month is going to compound, it's going to grow. And at least at the end of 5, 10, 15 years, which will go very fast, you'll find out, you will have something to show for it. You'll have something to build upon, and you'll have something to use if you need it. So anyway, you've got to get that right. So those are 4 big things that I think Dave Ramsey gets way right. And, a lot of criticism about him out there, and I think it's justified. Biggest one is Bitcoin, he's really missed the boat on that one. But there are some things that get right. So take from these guys the things that work for you and that help you, and you can kind of ignore the rest, just like me. So, all right. Happy Superman summer to you, and take care, everybody. Thanks a lot.